Today's lesson is Chapter 11, Lesson 1. It's on pages 554. That is the longest bell ever, through 557. I had originally thought we were going to watch this on May 6th. I think I've changed that. Big concepts for you to remember today are inverse operations. If you look down at the bottom of your notes, I kind of gave you some hints. If the problem contains addition, you subtract. If it has subtraction, you add. Multiplication is divide. And if the problem gives you division, you multiply. So these right here are the inverse operations that you're going to need so that you can isolate the variable. All year we have done problems like 2x is equal to 20. And what you have to figure out is, what does the x equal? Well, because this is multiply, you use the inverse operation of divide. You divide on both sides, cancels, you end up with x is equal to 10. You're doing the exact same thing today. The difference is you're going to have 2 steps instead of 1. Up here we divided, so we did 1 operation and we were finished. Today, you're going to have to do 2 operations. Remember, your operations are add, subtract, multiply, divide. So, right here for your steps, you're going to use an inverse operation to move numbers from one side to the other. And you're going to leave the variable alone for now. That's really important. So, when we look at this problem, 2n plus 5 is equal to 13. We might get stuck and think, well, do I move the 2n first or do I move the 5 first? Just like our order of operations, when we are doing inverse operations, you have specific steps that you need to follow. The number that is associated with the variable, if they're touching, if they're tied together in whatever way, you save that for last. When you finally isolate this variable, you're going to have your answer. So you're going to cover that part up and not look at it. And so then you think, well, I have positive 5 here, and I want to get rid of it. Well, down at the bottom, it says if our problem contains addition, we subtract. Well, this is addition. The opposite or inverse of addition is subtraction. So we're going to subtract, and we're going to subtract this number, which is 5. We don't do it just from one side because, remember, we have to keep our scale balanced. So whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So we're going to take 5 away from both sides. Positive 5, if we started on our number line at positive 5 over here, and we go back towards the negative, 5 jumps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to land at 0. Which means this canceled each other out. On the left-hand side of our equation, we're going to bring down our 2n. On the right side, we're going to go ahead and do 13, take away 5, which is 8. Now we're back to problems that we have seen all year. We're going to go ahead and do our second operation. Touching the variable means to multiply. Looking down, if it gives you multiplication, what do? Right, we divide. So we're going to divide by 2 on both sides. Canceled, n is equal to 4. Really important that you keep the variable in your answer. All right, next one. Got a little bit more going on. You've got to remember your steps. You've got to remember your triangle, everything. So right here, it was 19 is equal to negative 3p, take away 8. Well, it gave us subtraction, so we're going to add. Add 8 on both sides, canceled over here, bring down the negative 3p. 19 plus 8 is 27. So this right here was operation number 1. We added 8. That was number 1. Now we're going to go ahead and divide by -3 on both sides. That would be a +1, which we don't have to put because 1 times any number is just that number. So we're going to bring down the p, and a 27 divided by -3, we're going to use our triangle, and we're going to end up with -9 as our final answer. All right, go ahead and go to the back. I'm not going to do these with you. You're going to need to do them yourself. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Remember to use change, and to use the triangle when you have multiplication and division with a negative number like you do right here. For the box, really easy. These are all going to be triangles. Every single triangle in the world has a sum of 180 degrees. So this triangle is going to be 49 plus 74 plus something is equal to 180 degrees. Add these together, plus x equal to 180. Subtract whatever you have here from both sides, and x will be equal to something. And that's going to be your missing angle. If you have any questions, make sure you email me or post on Collaborate Classroom.